Welcome back to another reading and correcting with me, Kindar, the Tiger Writes, and Ty, the Tiger Supervisor. These are where I read a chapter from one of my stories and correct it as I go. If you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch, and if you are looking to support me, that is, on my Patreon. Today we are doing chapter 50 of The World Which Is. Brendan spreads dirt on the back of my armor. Don't worry, the webbing should dissolve blah. Don't worry, the webbing should dissolve in a few hours. This is just going to make sure you don't stick to anything you lean against. Alan used fire to cut me down, starting at the edge of the web out of fear it would flash burn, but it proved surprisingly resistant. She managed to collect some using a telekinetic spell as well as ash that was left behind to study. Behind to study. She said that just about everything can be turned into spell ingredients once its property are understood. I have no idea how that works since the system runs everything. Okay, actually, this is badly structured. I have no idea how that works. It says the system runs everything. Hasn't it assigned everything already, and it's just about querying it? I move, pulling on the shoulders, and there's some resistance from the webbing, but not as much as not so much it'll affect my fighting. My shield's free of webbing, courtesy of Ellen's fire. My knife was used to cut the webbing from my arm, and that was cleaned by fire too. We're good to go? Brendan asks. Walks past the spider. Walks past the spider's corpse without waiting for an answer, and something registers. Aren't we going to loot the body? Brendan gives me a disgusted look. There's no. He looks at it. Actually, go on, loot it. That doesn't sound ominous at all. Unfortunately, I have to touch it to loot, so I take a cautious step and access its inventory, ready to pull away the moment my fingertips make contact. Dungeon spider corpse. Sticky spit 3 times. Yeah, I don't have no idea how that would be narrated, but sticky spit 3, spider entrails 1. What is that? Where's the good stuff? If I had a higher zoology, or does this fall under cryptozoology skill, I could have gotten information on them. As it is, I'd have to take them out and look at them to trigger a perception check, and they look too disgusting to hold. This doesn't even count towards raising my relevant skill, since I'm not in danger. All this fighting, and not even a 1-point gain. I look up as I feel Brandon's gaze on me. Sorry, what? I have the sense that he just stopped speaking. Did you learn anything from the system? What? No, I was just, I was lost. What? No, I was just lost in thoughts. What you missed was me telling you that this is what you get in unexplored dungeons. So I'm not bothering with looting. Until people adventure in it, for it to get real loot, all you get is stuff that follows the theme. This is a wilderness dungeon, so it's going to have wilderness types loot. I know, stuff left over from animal dying. If we make it deep enough, there's a chance we'll get stuff like rough gemstones, maybe ores, if those occur naturally in this area, but I doubt we'll make it that deep. Look at you, Ellen says, smirking. Mister, haven't researched dungeons, telling us how it's going to be. Like you, he replies, irritated. I listen to people talk. The clubs always have newbie looking for shortcut to filling their research quest, and the older folks have no problem going on and on and on about what they know to them. Those people really like hearing themselves talk. What they'll find in dungeon comes up often enough. I ended up picking up a thing or two. You mean from when you asked them, trying to complete those research quests faster? She asked. But this is worth something, isn't it? I ask. I look at Ellen. You know what? I ask, before this escalates. I look at Ellen. You said everything can be used for spells. Wouldn't those count? I am not touching them, she replies, disgusted. I meant to sell. Vernon chuckles at his sister's reaction. The problem with that is finding someone willing to buy those. Uh, those who need them can have that harvested from just about any animal or creature out there. So there are plenty of hunters doing trade in them. Again, deeper you'll get rarer stuff unless you have the skill to refine junk loot into 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 something more valuable. You really don't want to waste time with anything below the first train. Okay? Sorry to shatter your illusions of wealth from just this one dungeon. That's not it, I reply, offended at the implication. It's just that every story I've heard about adventuring usually has a dungeon making them rich at some point. That one's yours to answer, Silver. Brendan replies with a chuckle, then walks ahead, joined by Ellen. Silver sidles up to me as I follow. I'm going to let you in on a secret, she says in a conspiratorial tone. We're always exaggerating stuff when we tell stories. It makes them more exciting. I know. I mean, I really know. I just got caught up in the moment, I guess. I try not to let on how foolish I feel. Hey, you're allowed. You took down that big bad spider in a train minus me a train minus in a train minus meter in height single-handedly. I rolled my eyes. It wasn't that big, and you helped. It will be when I sing about it, and all I did was play accompanying music. Please don't. Stories have, don't downplay your importance. If you hadn't buffed me, it would have killed me. I wasn't, she trails off. Just remember that you're important to the team, even if the system's stupid and doesn't reflect that in how experience is distributed after a fight. She nods, and I crank the light until we catch up to Brandon and Helen, standing in another bifurcation. Like before, Brendan says, me and Hal are going to check down that one to see if it turns back. You two stay here. I didn't see signs of creature as far as my light shines, so you'll be fine. If not, I say, I doubt they're going to be tougher than that spider. Me and Silver can deal with them. He looks at me with what I think is pride, but Ellen grabs his arm and pulls him away as he opens his mouth. Oh, please, don't encourage him, she tells him. He seems to have at least some common sense. I mean, it's not like he's my dad or anything, but he is a lot more experienced than I am at this, and it means something that he approves of how I'm dealing with this. Brendan pulls his arm out of her hand with a nod, then looks over his shoulder, opening his mouth, and suddenly there's a rock wall blocking the passage. I rush to it, but an explosion from the other side makes me step back. Are you fucking insane, Hal? Brendan yells, but his voice sounds like it's coming through a meter of solid stone. What if you'd brought all of this down on us? Don't be a fucking idiot, Bran, she replies. Unlike you, I noticed everything's stone now. That back blast nearly fried me. I'm sure none of your friends will care if you're shy a few layers of skins, unless you owe them that, or you owe even that to them. Are you two okay? I yell, stepping to the wall. Don't get too close, Brendan yells back. My sister looks like she'd rather bring everything down on us than stay here with me. Are you saying you don't want to rejoin them and make sure they're safe? She demands. Are you two okay? We're fine, I reply, although Silver looks scarce. Can you really magic this out of the way? Yes. Not if you kill us in the process, Brendan yells. I don't see you doing anything. I don't see you doing anything. Unlike you, Hal, I know my limit, and stone is well beyond it. They're just scared of enough, I yell, silencing them. Yelling at each other isn't helping. Ellen, realistically, can you get rid of this wall? Yeah, the pauses stretch. I don't know, she finally admits. The wall's stone, and by the way your voice sounds, I'm guessing there's 1.5 meters of it. The most destructive spell I have are fire and electricity. Fire barely left a scorch mark. I doubt a lightning bolt will do more. Brandon, how about you? Can you really not do anything? Come on, Dennis. Do you really think I'd hold out if I had something that could take this away? I don't say what my concern is, but Elena has no problem voicing it. Of course you would. If this was in your power, it's exactly the kind of stupid stuff you'd do so they'd find themselves in danger and grow faster. You are such a selfish bastard that you'd. That's enough, I say, although I can't muster the strength to yell. So I'm surprised she stops. Silver looks about to panic. Brandon, do you think that tunnel turns up and rejoins the branch we passed earlier? I don't know. We'd have to check further in. My light doesn't shine far enough to tell. Okay. You two do that and come tell us. If it does, we'll backtrack and meet up. And if we aren't splitting up again. And if it doesn't, we'll hurry and be back in a few minutes. I turn to Silver and hold her shoulders. Hold her shoulders. It's going to be fine, I say in as confident a voice as I can. I don't want to die, she whispered. I'm not made for this. I'm just a musician. Breathe, Silver. You aren't going to die. I'm sure that Brandon is going to be back with good news. Then we'll rejoin them and we won't split up again. Just like I said. All we have to do is wait here for them to come back. She nods and her breathing slows. I'm sorry. It's okay. I guess you never thought you'd be quite this close to one of the stories you sang about. Her chuckles nervous. And didn't I say that this is exactly what I wanted? To have songs of my own? I get the feeling you meant more like songs of people you saw putting their lives in danger, rather than being the one. Okay, better not finish that. I guess I thought I'd stick to the sideline, where it's safe. Dennis! Brendan calls through the wall, and I can already tell this isn't good news. I have bad news. I try to crush that kernel of excitement at the news as I pull Silver against me. We are on our own. We don't have anyone to keep us safe anymore. We are in actual danger. You know what? This is not needed. We are in actual danger. And this concludes chapter 50 of The World Which Is. If you are enjoying this, please leave a like. If you want to listen to this story live, it's geez, I am so yep. This is early in the morning. If you're enjoying this, please leave a like. If you want to know when the next chapter is going to be up, subscribe and hit the bell. If you want to read the story, it is up for free on Royal Road. If you want to read ahead of that and support me in the process, that is on my Patreon, where we are about 10 chapters ahead. If you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. Links are in the notes, and with that, I shall wish you a good day.